It's revolutionary because it addresses a huge problem in healthcare, which is the transitional time, which a lot of people may not realize, but it's the first 72 hours after you're discharged from a hospital or any facility into your home.
And this is a major problem I've seen all along. We would get a patient, they'd come out of the hospital, they'd go into the house, we would try to come in and help them, but we had no idea what was ordered as far as medical supplies. We didn't know what the program's going to be, what the plan of care was, and all that sort of stuff. And by the time we go back to the hospital and get all that information, critical time has passed and the patient suffers because of the lack of care, or the lack of equipment, or supplies that they have.
There's a laundry list of things to do, like make an appointment with your primary care doctor to follow up after you're discharged home. Making sure you have the proper medication at home and organized. Is your home going to accommodate the way you need to move around in it now?
I set it up through a what you call on-demand service platform, similar to like Uber or Lyft, but I'm focusing on the healthcare industry, and I address the 3 steps. First step is you really need to go in and do a thorough intake to find out all their condition, what's going on, what's been ordered, what's been happening with them. And then you want to get involved in planning the discharge and what's going to be needed. And in some cases you might even have to help coordinate the services. Maybe they're going to need home care, maybe they're going to need home health, or other different types of services, to just make sure everything's lined up so that when they do get discharged, they have that already in place by the time they get home. Step 2, though, is where we find a lot of the problems in the readmission issue is we find that it's in the home. So it's real important that somebody goes to the house and make sure the house is ready for when they arrive. They may need to modify the house, their conditions change. They may need to have ramps or change their stuff, add to the bathroom. You also need someone to check for old medications, make sure the house environment's good, because they just went into the hospital, so things are just sitting around in the house. So step 2 is really doing a home safety aids assessment and making sure the house is ready for when they get home. Step 3 is, now that you've got everything lined up, everything in place, the house is ready, is to go back into the hospital, pick up the care recipient, and bring them to the house now that everything's in place. But the key part here to try to avoid the readmission too is to make sure they understand their medication, understand their conditions and what to look for and what their follow-up is going to be, and making sure that you're passing this off to whoever's going to take over the self-directed care.
All these things take time to set up. So if they're initiated while you're in the hospital, there's a better chance of that, they're all set up by the time you get home. It's a really critical time to get certain things right. And if they're not done correctly or swiftly, it means a return or a readmission.